viewers, I'm from Intellect Digest. It will not be wrong to say that the phablets are taking over the smartphone space. The phablets are a cross between the tablets and the phones, and they come in a form factor of about 5 inches. And the one we are reviewing here today is the Karbon A30 TaFone. Although it has been in the market for a very long time, it recently grabbed my attention, so I thought I should bring some of the practical aspects about Karbon A30 TaFone. The A30 TaFone is a 6-inch or 5.9-inch display. It is 6 inches, so as you can see here, and is very handy. It's not as sleek as your conventional smartphone, but it is much sleeker than a tablet. So it is a phablet, rightly placed so. It is not very friendly to hold and operate in one hand, but it does give you a good large screen to consume content, to write, to read, etc. So in all, a very good value proposition. Let's get started. Starting with the size and form factor, which is one of the most important aspects when you are buying a phablet device. It has a 5.9-inch capacitive display, and the display resolution here you get is 480 by 800 pixels. It is around 11 millimeters in thickness, 10.7 millimeters to be precise. The weight of the phablet is approximately 280 grams. So it is not very light, but you can still hold it in one hand without much troubles. The display is nice and bright. It gives you a good visual experience as far as the color quality and the experience of color reproduction is concerned. Although it is a 5.9-inch large screen, the display resolution may seem a little inadequate, but there is no pixelation besides a lower resolution. The quality of display panel is better than average. There are 4 buttons below the screen: the menu button, home button, back button and search button. These buttons are backlit as well as permanently painted, so even when the backlight is not on, you can see them. Talking about the physical form factor, there is a metallic looking back cover. Over here at the back on the right hand side you get a power or wake up key. On top you have a standard 3.5mm audio jack. On the left hand side you get a large volume rocker. On the rear you have an 8 megapixel camera with autofocus and flash. There are 2 speaker meshes at the back, one here and one below the cover here. A micro USB port for data transfer as well as charging. Standard mic hole and an indent to open the back cover. Let me remove the back cover and show you. So under the hood lies a large battery of Karbon, which is 2500 mAh, which can give you a talk time of up to 10 hours. You have 2 SIM slots. These are the normal size SIM slots. You don't need to get your SIM card. The SIM 1 supports 3G as well as 2G, while the SIM 2 supports only 2G. There is a micro SD card slot as well. The internal memory is 4GB. You can expand it further by adding a micro SD card of up to 32GB in capacity. These are the speaker meshes which appear here under the hood. The back cover that we have has a flip cover which has been attached to it, so it is kind of sticky. It's difficult to take it out right now. So it is metallic in finish, silver in color, looks good, and you get this leather flip cover free with it, which has a magnetic flap. So when you close it, it closes nicely. The quality of material used on the Karbon A30 TaFone or the phablet seems decent. It would not be wrong to say that Karbon is using build quality which is slightly better than its rivals in India, and as an Indian brand with phones which are sourced from some other manufacturers, as most of the Indian manufacturers are doing, the build quality of Karbon phones is slightly better than others. So is their display quality. Talking about the touch experience, it is very fluid and very easy to operate. The buttons as well as the touch screen is very responsive to your touch inputs. It is a multi-touch touch screen which can be used for playing multiplayer games. I'll quickly give you a gaming demo of this phone to show you how it performs. So let us run some basic games that you would run on a phone. So let's start with Subway Surf, which is a moderate application. It does not use too much processing power, but it is slightly heavy on graphics. As you can see, the graphics are rendering fairly fine on the Subway Surf game, and the music is also very loud. The touchscreen is very responsive and game is not showing any sort of lag. It is playing very smoothly, responding very well to the touch inputs. So I find this phone very impressive when it comes to gaming. The large screen makes it all the more pleasurable and comfortable to play games. Although I am not a very good gamer, let me play another game to show you how the performance is on the graphics side. Run the Temple Run 2, which is again a much talked about game in the Android space these days. I've turned the volume to the mid level because it is very loud, so you won't be able to hear me if I turn it to full. It is responding fairly nice to touch as well as the motion inputs, and the graphics rendering on the Temple Run 2 is also satisfactory. There is no problem whatsoever when it comes to the graphics rendering. The response is also fairly good, so you can use it to play games like Temple Run, the Subway Surf, etc. without any sort of lag or any sort of trouble when it comes to gaming experience. I'll also show you a quick demo of the Racing Moto game, which is another popular game. This is in fact a lighter game, so is expected to run better. And as you can see, it is responding well to the motion inputs. So it does test the motion sensors or the G sensors, and it is doing a fairly good job on the motion games. Talking about the specification, the Karbon TaFone A30 is powered by a 1 GHz dual-core A9 Cortex processor, Mediatek chipset, has 512 MB of RAM. It is running Android 4.0 or the ice cream sandwich right out of the box. So it is not Jelly Bean, but it is 4.0.4 Android, which is not bad either. It gives good functionality, good icons, but with Jelly Bean you will get goodness of Google now, which is absent over here. Apart from this, it has 4 GB internal memory, out of which 2.5 GB is available to the users. So it has a 503 MB of internal storage and 2.05 GB of phone storage. So a total of 2.5 GB available to the user, which is not bad at all. You can always add an external micro SD card to increase the storage of the phone. Talking about the benchmark score, let us show you the Antutu benchmark, which comes out to be an impressive 7000 range. It is 7131, which is comparable to the phones in this segment, and considering that it is a phablet, it is doing really good in terms of performance with its A9 core architecture. Let me also show you some more information about this phone. So the GPU used on this phone is PowerWare SGX 531. It is doing a fairly good job. The chipset on this phone is MT6577 by Mediatek. The processor on this phone is ARM V7 1 GHz dual core. Let me also run some other benchmarks, including the Nina Mark II. So on Nina Mark II tests the graphics performance of the phone by rendering high quality graphics and testing the graphics performance. So let's get started. Graphics score comes out to be 27.4 frames per second, which is not top of the line, but it is not too bad either. So you can do basic gaming on this, as we just showed you. The graphics are rendering just fine. Let me also run the quadrant standard test to show you how it performs on the quadrant standard benchmarks. Quadrant standard test results come out to be close to 2512, which is fairly good. It is better than the Nexus 1 2.2 Plus. So I find this device performing good on the benchmarks, on the Antutu, on the Nina Mark, as well as the quadrant standard for the price that you pay for this device. Talking about the applications and features, the Karbon A30 TaFone comes loaded with many preloaded applications like the Facebook, Dropbox, Yahoo Messenger, etc. So there are many social networking applications, a few games, etc. which come loaded. So they integrate some of the applications that you would normally use, like the Times of India for news application, considering the usage profile of Indian users, which is a good thing. Talking Talking about the sound quality of this phone, it is fairly loud. Let me give you a quick demo by playing a track over here, and in the full volume it runs very well. There are dual speaker meshes at the back which gives solid sound output. The volume level is loud enough, so is the detailing in the sound in terms of the bass as well as treble levels. I'll also show you quickly the video playback quality on this phone. So if you are buying a large phone like this, you would probably want to play some videos on it as well. So I'll play a video from our YouTube channel only.
Yes, you would definitely want to take picture with Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and say if you want to click a picture when your phone is locked, you can quickly take just screens. These 5 application icons remain here. Say you want.
So as you see, the video playback seems to be very good in terms of the picture quality as well as the sound quality. The sound is fairly loud, so you can listen to it very well on the speaker. You can also connect earphones if you don't want to play it on speakers. I'll also give you a quick demo of the camera quality of the Karbonn A30. The rear camera on the Karbonn A30 is an 8 megapixel with autofocus and flash, and the front camera is a 1.3 megapixel, so you can do a semi-high definition calling with the front camera, and the rear camera can take really nice and sharp pictures. I just click the picture in bright light conditions, and as you can see, the quality of the pictures in terms of color reproduction etc. is coming out to be fairly nice, and the sharpness in the picture is also very good. So this is the object which is not breaking or pixelating even on a very high zoom, and this is the real object to compare the color quality, and it is coming out to be fairly nice. So I am really impressed by the back camera here, which is an 8 megapixel with flash, so you can do some low light photography as well. I'll also show you a quick preview of the front camera, so you can switch the camera from here, and as you can see, the front camera is also picking up the visuals fairly okay. It may not be very suitable for photography, but it is good for occasional phone calling with video or video conferencing. Especially for our viewers, we'll give you an additional tip which will make this phone even more useful. You can buy an aftermarket stylus like this. This is a capacitive stylus which you can buy online at a price of as low as $2, and this is a capacitive pen-like looking thing with a front tip which is kind of rubberish. It works like your finger, and you can operate the phone using this stylus very easily. So if you want to take some notes or you want to do some drawing with some scribble applications, you can buy a stylus like this and you can use it even more precisely. It also works on the touch buttons below the screen, so it is an added advantage. You can use an aftermarket stylus, buy a TaFone and use it very comfortably like a note-taking device, as it is already in a very nice form factor for taking notes. Talking of the box content, you get the Karbon TaFone, a large battery, a free flip cover inside the box, a standard USB to micro USB data cable, a wall charger which is a nice looking charger and is a fast charger with 800 mAh capacity. You get a user manual. You also get a warranty guide and some other manuals. There are some standard earphones which are supplied with this, which I don't have right now to show you. This is all you get in the box at a price point of around 10,000 rupees. This is a very good deal in terms of performance, software features, hardware, build quality, camera performance, etc. It's a completely rounded package with 3G data, Phablet form factor, 5.9-inch high quality display. This is all we have on a detailed review of the Karbonn A30 TaFone. If you like our video, please press the like button below. For more such videos, please press the subscribe button below. This is Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.